Your camera is blurry.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Shit. It's clean
That's
on mine,
fine.
so it's just the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, it looks fine now. It wasn't a
Okay.
little bit before.
Open the door a little more.
You know what they say? Nice guys finish last.
Mm-hmm.
Well, for once, the nice guy didn't finish last.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
It might have cost them more than we would have thought they would have had to,
Right.
but they had to pay a tax. Tyler Chatwood is a Toronto Blue Jay.
Yes.
Yeah,
That was the biggest pickup of the weekend. Or the week.
Absolutely.
I'm really excited to hear Brand's take on this.
oh,
I'm really excited.
great pickup, you know. He was interesting in 2017 and 2018, and then for the last 2 years, it's been dog shit. But he was a good
Chatwood?
reliever. Yeah.
Chatwood, great.
But okay,
Good bullpen
So,
piece.
the
My
Toronto
favorite
Blue
pickup of
Jays
the
signed George Springer to a 6-year deal at $150 million.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never seen Blue Jays Twitter act the way it did on Tuesday night. Never.
No.
Because the tweets come out, it started off weird. Because
It got weirder, but
yeah, like two randoms basically tweet out
yeah.
that the
Have
Jays
you
agreed. No,
that, like,
I've never heard of it.
Brendan Kuh
I've
guy
never
or
heard of
whatever?
it. I've
Never heard of him.
Mhm.
And all credit to them, they were right.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
you've never heard of those guys ever.
No.
And then the big J guys, your Morosi's, your Heymans, your Rosenthals,
Your
Sherman.
big MLB guys, like it's
Yeah.
not even just Jay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. I'm saying big journalism. Yeah, you
Yeah.
get it? Yeah.
Ah.
So they start tweeting out cryptic tweets of like, oh, the Jays are discussing with George Springer. Talks are picking up. Morosi's like, oh, the Jays are now the front runner for Springer. And then it comes out, I think it was Heyman that, or one of them basically confirms that Springer to the
Signed.
Jays.
Yeah.
And then Heyman comes out with 6/150.
Mm-hmm.
And I originally thought, wow, 6/150 is a lot.
Mhm.
But then when you see all the reaction from the fan base, it's like, who cares? It's
Yeah.
really like, who cares?
At least you got someone.
It's
That's kind of
no.
the one thing.
It's not even that they got someone. They got their guy. Period. They wanted him.
Yeah.
They wanted him more.
I
than
mean,
anyone.
as a fan though, at least you got someone. Like
Of
he
course.
might not have been the fans guy, but it's like we've been looking for weeks now about them being like, oh, we're tied to this guy and that guy and this guy and that guy.
And then you
just
lose
watching them come
DJ,
off
you
the
lose
board.
Lindor, you lose
Yeah.
Hendricks, you
Hendricks,
lose
yeah.
Kim. Like you just lost. You were second place on so many guys.
Yeah. Yeah, and we were runner up on everything. That was the one.
And
that
then
hurt. It
to
was like
see
they were
them
there.
like
Mhm.
to see them nut up and say, look, we like this guy better than anyone and we're not losing him.
Mhm.
That not only felt good, but also like it felt good because they were big game hunting and they put their money where their mouth was and they signed a guy.
Yeah.
Like it's as simple as that. If I'm being honest, and not only did they sign a guy,
They signed a need.
they
sure.
signed
Mhm.
what there's 4 elite players.
Yeah.
A lot of the major outlets had George Springer as the number 1 free agent. And when's the last time the Blue Jays have ever done that? Roger Clemens? They've never, you could say that they've never done that.
Ryu was in the top bracket
But
last year, but he
was
wasn't.
not like
He
Was he
wasn't
top
Garrett
of his
Cole.
class that year?
He wasn't Garrett Cole. He wasn't Steven Strasburg.
correct.
He was probably 3, but he wasn't the top guy.
No. Not
And
in
like
this-
there was no question of him being the top guy. At least like you can say that Springer's not the top guy this year, but you couldn't question the fact that Ryu wasn't the top guy last year.
Question I have. So LeMahieu went back to the Yankees, right?
correct.
Yep.
So that being said, was he not the top option out of everybody that remained?
He wasn't.
on
He was my
offense, at
favorite
least?
fit. He was the
He was-
best fit for me. But
He was an interesting fit because
Mhm.
of the position versatility and the position of need.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But to the Jays, he wasn't their number 1 target. I don't think, at least.
He was
Because you're
my
talking
number
about two
one
different
guy.
players in two different tax brackets, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay.
I kind of would have rather the contract on DJ, but
I mean, but
I
I,
just
don't
think he
think
fits
the
better.
Yankees are getting DJ at that cost. The Blue Jays are not getting DJ at that cost.
clearly because they offered more.
Yeah.
And they didn't get it. So
More annually, correct.
yeah. Well, yeah, same thing.
I think for the Jays, they have gotten them. They would have had to went to like 100.
Maybe. I mean, he
Or
ended up
even
going
more
for 15 per. There's no way he wanted.
Well, he went. It's not that he went for 15 per. He went for 92 million.
Yeah.
Because it's
It's
basically
still
92 over
15
4.
per. If you would have went,
Hold on, it's basically 92 over 4, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Hey, we just need to spread out the years, so if to help us tax wise.
Yeah.
So here's
yeah,
an extra 2 years just to help us out."
yeah,
But like, it was so weird how it came out. It was Scott Mitchell. There's legit legs to the Brant. Oh well, that's the Brantley. And we'll talk about that. But
Mhm.
6 years is a long time.
Mhm.
I know MLB Trade Rumors, and they do a really good job at their projection system.
Mhm.
They had Springer at 5/125, but they also had him signing with the White Sox. So like, I think if you're the Blue Jays, you have to pay a tax not only for playing in Canada, but also because the taxes are higher here.
Mhm.
Also, the uncertainty of where you're playing. You just have to.
Yeah.
It's a annoying fact, but it is a true fact.
At 5/25 though, it's the exact same contract, just an
Exactly.
extra
It's just
year at the
it's an
exact same
extra
dollar
exactly.
value. Yeah,
Yeah.
and which is just the stability of what you're saying.
Mhm.
I get that.
So, and then I was listening to Buster Only on the Baseball Tonight podcast that ESPN does. I was listening to them, and it was interesting because I was under the impression that once so the Mets' final offer was 6/125.
okay,
Springer was basically like, this is what he said. Apparently, you're gonna have to blow the Blue Jays offer out of the water. So
he wanted to be here.
No. Well, sure.
In
Well,
theory.
that's after I say that. So Jays offer him 6/150. He wants the Mets to go from 6/125 to 6/175. Yeah. So I actually think it's cool on Springer, the fact that
They gave me this first, beat it.
exactly.
basically, yeah.
So it wasn't a factor of
I'm not
the
choosing
money
between the
was
two of you.
close,
They wanted me more.
exactly.
If you match
Yeah.
it, I'll come to you guys. I don't care. It was more of beat it.
Exactly, which I thought was really cool. I
Yeah,
don't. If you ask me,
that's a
'cause
respectful
you
move
were
on
one-
his part.
exactly. It wasn't to incite a bidding war necessarily. It could have,
No. Yeah,
but
like if
it
you want
was-
to pay that much
it was
for
a
me.
loyalty thing, which was kind of cool. The
Yeah, I
fact
like
that
that.
it wasn't because everyone had assumed if the money was close, he was just going to New York because he's
Mm-hmm.
from Connecticut and it's nearby,
Mhm.
and that wasn't the case. So that was really interesting.
The one thing people I've seen take issue with so far is the term and like
Mm-hmm.
how he's going to be down the stretch. And like, yes, he's going to be older come
Mm-hmm.
the end of the thing. Obviously, like he hits 37 by the time the contract's up.
Mm-hmm.
But like, we're not talking about a guy that's played a lot of baseball. Like he's only played 7 seasons in the bigs, and
Mm-hmm.
like we're looking at under 1,000 games right now. Like, yes, he would be older and like he'll probably slow down a bit, but this isn't a guy that's had a lot of taxing work on his career. Like he'll be okay in that sense. Like he won't be worn down like you see with guys like Pujols that played every year and in the postseason and all that. And I think you should be okay on the back end, but it's going to be interesting.
And since coming into the league, like he's been an unreal player.
Yep.
Like if you
Been
just
above
look at his
average.
career WAR, if you're projecting it out, if 2014 he came up at there was service time manipulation, so it wasn't that he was a free agent last year; it was free agent this year. So if you project that over 162, he's above 4 wins. The next year he had 3.9 because he only played in 102 games. He's basically a 4-win player every year.
Yep.
And he's getting better throughout his career. Like a lot of people, and rightfully so, can dig him for being a part of the Astros scandal. But since 17 and 18, which are the years in question,
Mm-hmm.
19 and 20 has been his best years in the majors.
I put 19 in question too, but
I mean, 19 was
they
the
were
year
just
that
they were just as chintzy there.
Mm,
They
mm.
did it in the postseason, and it was proved in the postseason. So I don't put a lot of stock into
Was
his
it?
19 year, but his 20 year was good.
It was great.
Yeah.
My cousin sent me this actually. So when it happened, everybody was freaking out amongst my cousins group, and the tweet they sent me was there are only 1, 2, 3 players among outfielders that have a better WAR over the past 5 years, and it's Mike Trout, Mookie Betts, and Christian Yelich. So
Yeah.
I mean, I think
You're
like for me,
getting a
like who
player
doesn't
of that
follow this,
caliber.
Yep.
yeah, like for me who doesn't follow this as seriously as you
You know
guys
who
do,
those
like
3
this.
are.
There's nobody
Yeah,
in
exactly.
the Mike Trout caliber.
Obviously,
Let's
but,
just
But in
point
terms
that
of
out.
like
but those are the only 3 players that can
Yeah.
call them
over
better.
the last 5 years, and to Brand's point of the whole, he hasn't been in the league in the big leagues for that long. He's only been here 7 years,
7
like he
seasons.
said.
6 years, 7
Be
seasons.
to be among the top 5 in the last 5 of them.
Mhm.
I mean that to me
pretty good.
speaks to a kind of player we just got. So
The player's great.
Yeah.
The George Springer type player is great. I'd be ecstatic, over the moon right now if that's what happened. It's just I just have this lingering anger towards every single Astro that was on that team, and especially the core group at the top of it.
Right.
And he's a part of that. And like, I understand that he's a really good guy, and that's cool. Good people do bad things.
Sure.
And this is just one he never got any flack, or not flack, but never got any repercussions for. And it still just bugs me to my core until day 1 of the season starts. Because it's just like, it's such a shitbag move for anyone in the league. And like the fact that they went through with that, it's like, you guys fucking suck as Hughes.
Absolutely. But guess what?
But he's a Blue Jay now.
At this point, I don't give a fuck. I get to root for him.
The only resentment I have is that 2020 baseball, after the fact that it happened, nobody was allowed to go and shower them with booze.
Right.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. That's the thing.
only
Like,
part I resent
if
about it.
they
Now
went
you
through
see it,
the,
it's like, okay, well now nothing happens.
if you went through the tour of anger of all fans around the league last year and had to take it from every single fan at every single place you went, I'd be fine. Because at least they got something. They got no suspensions, no titles taken, no nothing for this. And it's just like, they walked away scot-free for cheating the entire game. And it's like, I'm going to be resentful about that for a little while. And come opening night, I'm probably going to watch Springer hit an opening or a leadoff bomb and be like, all right, yeah, fuck it. It's George Springer. Let's go. But
basically.
But as of right now, it's still like, he's still that person for me, and it just kind of sucks, despite what he is off the field, because I know he does a lot of really good things for the community and all that.
Part of me, I can totally understand that.
Mm-hmm.
Let me flip it around on you.
Mm-hmm.
The Blue Jays miss out on Springer.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have to settle for your Jackie Bradley Jr.'s and your Colton Wongs, and then your
Jackie Bradley Jr., good defensive outfielder.
Great defensive outfielder, has pop. Like he can hit over 20 home.
Sure.
But it's not
the same.
We're talking about different levels to this.
No.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great target. Like I said, George Springer, the player, is one of the best out there right now that we could have picked up. He wasn't my top target personally, but he was easily the top 3 available. And they got him. I'm glad we got something. It just kind of sucks that it was that one for me.
Right.
But I'll like him eventually. He'll come around.
All right.
I'll come around.
Let me share this with you guys, and let me see what you guys think of it.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Rendon since entering free agency last year. Okay.
What is he
Almost 4,000 plate appearances in basically 860 OPS, 126 OPS plus, a 29.1 BWAR. He gets 7 years, 245 million.
Right.
George Springer entering his free agency year a year later, 400 less ABs, 7 points lower in his OPS, 5 points higher on his OPS plus, and 1.6 lower of a BWAR. 6 years, 150 million.
I would argue there wasn't a lot of protection in that Nationals lineup for a lot.
Bryce
of Harper.
Harper?
It was just him and Bryce. That was it.
Bryce Harper's pretty good.
Yeah, Bryce is good, but Bryce also, as a Bryce Harper stan, I would say that Bryce went through a lot of stretches where he wasn't good.
Couldn't you argue though that Bryce Harper was the one that they would pitch around and pitch to Rendon?
To an extent, like there was a lot of times when people were just pitching to Bryce Harper because like Rendon was just so money.
Like I did, like personally, it doesn't feel like Rendon became the star that he did until basically the year before he hit free agency.
The year that Bryce left.
Yes.
Yeah. But it was also they kind of started pitching around Juan Soto a little bit too. But
Exactly. So that's what I mean. Like
I just kind of like Rendon better, but I see
for
the comparison
contract,
in the numbers.
like,
Obviously,
exactly. Like when the numbers are that close and that similar, I
Yeah.
don't see. It's not that I'm saying Springer is better than Rendon. I'm saying relax about the first year, the one more year at 25 million, because if Springer hits free agency last year, he's getting over
a lot
200
more than that. Yeah.
over 200 million, arguably, because if
It was
the
a perfect
Astros,
year to go get him.
if the Astros don't manipulate their service time and afford them that extra year, he's getting over 200 million likely.
He's getting Rendon money.
Exactly. Yeah. So I just wanted to share that because
Rendon also has the NL MVP like runner-ups all over the board. Like he's been in the top 5 fucking almost every
Well,
year,
I would
it feels like.
I would argue Springer has the playoff success, which is legit.
Sure.
Like
Yeah, he is a
like you
monster
can say
in the playoffs.
because so the Astro scandal just refreshed my memory. That dealt with home games, correct? It wasn't road games.
Yeah, I would assume. I would
still
assume
did
they
a-
didn't have stuff in the road, but
Yeah.
career 350 hitter in the playoffs.
Who?
Springer.
Yeah, I know. He's fucking nuts.
He's got 19 homers in 63 games.
Yeah. He hit
It's
6
insane. Like,
homers
he
in
just-
6 games. He homered in 6 straight games, going back from.
His OPS is almost 900. Slugging percentage of almost 550. Like
He is a playoff
player.
player. And it frustrated me this year, like watching every time because everyone was just rooting against the Astros, and Springer would have a big hit in every game. I think this is the Ryu contract last year was like, okay, we're adding good players back. I think the Springer contract is just affirmation that we're here.
we're going for something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's really cool because like it's basically only 2 years of down baseball that they really had in 17, 18, and then 19 the rookies came up. 20 was last year. They made the playoffs somehow.
Yeah.
Let's
It's
talk about
only
where
going to
they're
get
going.
better. It's
only going to get better.
Yeah.
And then it could have been insane if they had gotten Michael Brantley, because it would have catapulted a bunch of different moves.
Yeah. As much as like missing out on Michael Brantley kind of sucks, I don't hate it. Like Michael Brantley at 16 million at this point in his career, I don't really know what he is per se. Like he
I
is
think he's one of the
obviously
most consistent hitters in baseball. But there's the injury issues, and that's
lot.
scary. But the
A lot.
lineup fit would have been great, and the veteran presence would have been great.
lefty bat's big too. But I'm not keeping myself up at night going, oh fuck, we should have had Michael Brantley, right? Like it's
Right.
obviously it's a nice piece to bring in, but it's not one that I'm kicking myself. That we
I'd
missed
rather
out
you
on.
go spend that $16 million on pitching.
There's so many pitching options left that you can spend that 16 mil on. Go give it to Taiwan. Like that contract, go give it to Taiwan.
I mean, I think Taiwan's getting 16,
Probably
10 to
less.
12?
Yeah.
10 to 12?
Yeah.
Fair.
But if you're willing to give 16 to Michael Brantley, you're willing to give 14.
Yeah. Oh, they're
to
like
Taiwan
that's
is
the
what
thing.
I'm-
That's the thing. I was listening to John Boy's podcast, and he's basically like, right now the Jays are like they'd rank them still behind the Rays and Yankees, and like behind the Yankees, fair, whatever.
Behind the Rays?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Why?
Like
They don't have any
Exactly.
starter. They have Tyler Glasnow, who gets
Who's overrated,
lit up.
yeah, like I understand the Rays always are
They
just
find a
there.
way. They find a way.
Exactly. But I'd rather be wrong about the Rays and they prove me wrong again than just say they're better on it right now, because on paper they're not.
They're not. They're not. Their position players are not even close to what ours are.
Austin Meadows is off of a down year. I'm not willing to forgive Meadows like I'm willing to
Meadows is
forgive
never
Yelich.
healthy. He's never healthy either.
Lyle had a bad end to the season after being hot to start. Randy Rosarena, is he legit? I don't know.
Who
Baseball
knows?
America
Who
had him
knows?
as like the 14th best prospect, which is like fair because he's still technically a rookie. But how can you? I don't. They'll find a way to still be in contention,
Yeah,
no doubt.
Obviously. They're a gritty ass team and they're going to be a pain in the ass, but they're not good on paper.
No, They have this is the rotation right now. Glasnow, who's
Good.
surprisingly
He's a good pitcher.
Yeah.
I think he could be great, but he has moments where he's awful.
right. Ryan Yarbrough,
Mhm.
who's good
He was
against
a
the Jays.
bullpen arm 2 years ago.
Michael Wacha, Josh Fleming, and Trevor Richards.
Michael Walker, eh? That's who you're counting on to be your 3-man.
Okay, I hate the Blue Jays rotation as much as anyone.
We have the second best rotation in the AL East, man.
I mean, that's not really hard to do when you
No,
consider
but
the
like
rest
when
of
this is the division we play in, in the
best
division we
staff
play in, we have the
example than
second
Tampa.
best rotation. Tampa just dumped their starting rotation off. Boston has nothing. And Baltimore, I don't have trust in Baltimore to be good at anything. So it's us and the Yankees, and the Yankees kick our ass in that category. But
I don't know if they kick our ass.
when Sevy comes back,
Can you trust Severino?
more than I can trust.
No,
Robbie
I
Ray.
agree. Oh, but you're the one that was convincing me yesterday.
I trust Robbie
the
Ray, but
greatest thing since sliced bread.
I also trust the fact that Severino throws 101 miles an hour.
Moral of the story is the Jays have a ton more moves. I think that they're going I think it's not inconceivable to think that they sign 2 starting pitchers, a reliever, and then a middle infielder, which
Or
I think
trade
is
for a starter.
trade might be the road for any of them.
I think acquire in general 2 starters, a reliever,
Correct.
and maybe another infield piece.
Correct.
Still possible. And like all the reports are out there that they're still aggressive and they're still trying to make moves, which includes Trevor Bauer apparently.
Who among this list of pitchers would you give up Lourdes Gurriel for? Because this is who Jim Bowden of the Athletic was. I agree, but
Already none, because no, you just look at what like you Darvish and Blake Snell went for. You don't need to give up
Right.
Lourdes. Why? Because like the 2 guys that went are better than pretty much anything on the market right now, and they went for nothing.
the majority of those trades, it's far out prospects that are being traded. It's not your typical top 100.
It's
guys
not
that are
Jordan
there.
Groshans.
It's the flyer guys that are 18 years old. Hey, they might hit, but here's 4 of them, and maybe one of them.
Good luck. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was all the Cubs basically got for Darvish was flyers.
Here's a chance. Yeah.
Okay. Sonny Gray, Luis Castillo, Marco Gonzalez, Herman Marquez, and Kyle Freeland.
The only one I think about it
Is
is
Castillo.
Castillo.
Herman Marquez has really good numbers for Coors Field.
Yeah. Yeah, he's done a great job there.
And Marco Gonzalez has a really team-friendly contract. I think he signed for 5 years, 6 years.
I still don't think about it.
I don't trust Sonny Gray. We saw
I
how
want
it
him.
went with
I want him, but I'm not giving up Lourdes for it.
I agree.
Yeah.
We saw how it
There's
went
no reason.
the last time Sonny Gray was in the AL East with the Yankees, and it didn't go
Yes.
great.
No. I have praised Sonny Gray for the last 3 months, and I think he's a great pitcher, but I'm not giving up MLB ready guys for Sonny Gray, a chance that Sonny Gray continues to be what he's been the past 2 years.
Correct.
It's not like he's been this for 5 or 6. This is 2 years of good Sonny Gray again. I'm not risking that.
I think it'll be interesting to see where the Blue Jays go on the middle infield as well. Some of the guys that I think are the one that actually sticks out to me. Well, here are 3. I lied. Tommy LaStella, who could play second, third, and first.
Okay.
I think that's a really interesting fit because he's a left-handed hitter. He hits 280. He'll hit he can run into the upper teens and home runs. And I think he's a fit utility-wise, and you don't necessarily. He doesn't need to have a position, and I think that's good because he can. If he and Vlad basically split the games at third, then I think that's a
fine.
good fit, right?
Just real quick, we're giving Vlad a chance at third again, right? That's a thing.
That's what it seems like.
The shape that he's gotten into and everything
You
he's
have
done
to
try-
reward him
You
for
have to
somewhat
give him a
for doing-
chance. You
Yeah.
have to give him a chance.
And who knows? He might be better at third than he was at first because he wasn't good at first.
He was getting better at first. Like I said,
I don't
he
know.
never played in. It's such a hard position to play. I think a little more time under his belt. He looked good in that last week where he made a bunch of really nice defensive plays. Where I'm like, okay, he looks like he's getting it.
Statistically is one of the worst feeling.
Yeah.
First.
Absolutely. It's his first.
It's awful.
Was it 50, 61, 62 games he played there?
16. Yeah. I mean, less than that.
He didn't even play 62 games this year. So you never know.
You
Cole
gotta at
Wong's
least credit and reward the effort.
Exactly.
Right. Correct.
Exactly.
Cole Wong's an interesting one just because he doesn't have the position versatility that a guy like LaStella does.
He can play second, and that's about it, right? Didn't he play short at one point in his career?
No, he
Or
played
I might be thinking
second,
of
and they
Cosmo.
put him in the outfield. I saw him in like center a couple times.
I think I was thinking of Pete Cosmo. That guy was a dumpster fire.
It's the same with Cesar Hernandez too. Like I think those are two guys that they're lefty bats or switch hitters in.
Cesar had a great year last year.
Yeah,
He turned it around.
well,
I wouldn't hate it.
one's better at the plate, except Cesar is still good at defense. Also,
No, I was
like
gonna say.
I'd be here for either one of them.
Mhm.
I think those are the three guys that you basically go after. Kike Hernandez, not the greatest fit. I think he's going to have more suitors than.
Great guy though.
Yeah. Did you see those photos
No.
of him in the jumpsuit? Oh my
No.
god, it was hilarious.
He's just great person.
wearing a romper or something.
Great. What am I
Yeah.
looking for? Dugout presence,
Clubhouse guy.
but like not. Yeah, just not like not much of a.
He's a good
ball
player. He
not-
mashes lefties.
Yeah. Interesting piece that multiple people have brought up to me so far. Would you trust Lourdes Gurriel on third?
No.
No. He
Did
was
you
good
trust
as
him at
he was
short?
fine. Yeah, he was fine as a shortstop.
Okay.
He was a terrible second baseman, but he was fine as a shortstop. I didn't have any issues with him when he was there. The only reason he had to move was because Bo came.
But why would you put Lourdes at that position when he
Because
already was a runner-up
if-
for a Gold Glove in left? If you had signed Brantley, then I could discuss it, but you didn't. So
Are we gonna give him props for that Gold Glove? Like he wasn't that good defensively.
I mean,
Just
he's
that
got the
a
best
lot of
arm.
people
He's
were
got
bad.
one of the best arms.
He
in
does have an
baseball.
absolute cannon, but his glove is yikes.
Oh, his glove is mad.
And he takes really bad reads on balls, but he gets there because he's athletic as hell.
Yeah.
But I think realistically, are you better off with him at third and Grichuk in right with Teo coming over, or are you better off having him out in left with Teo?
Teoscar's the DH.
Yeah.
Teoscar's the DH. I think if you're looking at it right now in the outfield, it's Grichuk in right, Springer in center, and Lourdes in left, and then you DH Teoscar, and then you rotate the outfielders based off of the people in your infield that need a day off, and DH them. Like Vlad, if he's playing third, you're gonna have to DH.
You're gonna
him
need to
more.
give him a bit of a break. Just let him get into it.
Brad Hand, that's a name that the Blue Jays have an offer out on.
Hey, we didn't mention Kirby Yates.
Yeah. I mean,
Are we gonna get to that, or are we?
yeah.
Okay, I like it.
Oh,
We'll
I
just kind of
love it.
combo the two together. Brad Hand, Kirby Yates. Be interesting to have at the back of the bullpen.
If Kirby Yates and there's
Can
no
be
reason to
2019
think-
Kirby Yates?
There's no reason to think he can't be.
He was hurt last year, right?
Yeah, he had bone chips in his elbow, but there was no structural.
Well,
He gets.
you're gonna want to hold on. You're gonna want to reset the.
Yeah. So much work to do for. How's that sound?
It's good now.
You sure? You sure?
Yep. No, you're
sure?
good now. Yep.
Okay.
It's it's like it's its
Yeah,
own
I gotta wait
separate
for the health
one.
checks.
Okay.
Do.
You gotta fucking glue that thing in there, man. Just
Honestly, I'm just gonna buy a new
new cord,
mic.
new mic. This
Yeah.
thing's pretty good.
Huh?
This one's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much was it?
It's only like one something. It's not. It's
Yeah.
not terribly
was looking
expensive.
at
It's like
this other
reasonably priced for what you get. What's this one? AT 2005. $119.
So when I was looking at it was like 180, 190 something because the software that has is sick. This one by Elgato.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No, this one's got like the is it DSLR? No, that's a camera. What's the other
XLR?
one?
XLR.
is what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
It's got the XLR input too, so you could.
Oh, it's got a camera
Switch it
inside
over.
of it.
It's got a camera inside. It takes pictures of my mouth as I talk. It's cool. It's so cool.
Oh lordy.
It's still loading up.
Mm-hmm. At that point, I was just gonna wait until tomorrow for the recording to drop. Like it's so annoying to keep.
Or do we want to have our obligatory Morgan Wallen talk in the intermission?
Sure. Intermission report brought to you in part by Morgan Wallen's new double album, Dangerous.
Yo, it's a banger.
It's fucking
It's a
hot,
banger. The whole album, dude.
dude.
It crushes. Start to
Just
bottom. Like,
Everything from top to bottom.
Oh.
You get the mix. Like
oh,
today I was feeling the slower one.
Yeah,
What's it
I saw
called?
your story.
Yeah,
there.
I don't know, man. It's just that one today was in my head a lot.
I saw 2 people put that one on their story today. It was you and someone else. I'm like, that's
I don't know. Yeah, it was just in my head a lot today. But
just bangers, man. Start
Hold
to
what's the other
finish.
one?
Pierre-Luc Dubois has not seen a shift in the second period.
Yeah,
And
well,
they're
here's another
7
update.
minutes into the period.
The Bruins are now into their 5th game, and they've
Without
yet
a
to
5-on-5
score
goal.
a 5-on-5 goal. Credit to Bobby Ryan, comeback player of the year as far as I'm
yeah,
concerned right now. He has
absolutely.
outscored the Bruins
Yeah.
in all play
Yeah.
right now.
Insane.
Good for him.
Insane.
All right, Morrow, come on. Come through with these health checks, bro.
Oh, is it still on? Is it waiting on me? What
There
the
we
fuck?
go.
Oh, no, we're good.
All right, so the bullpen.
Yeah.
There's no reason to believe that Kirby Yates can't be Kirby Yates
No.
because he had the bone chips removed
Yeah.
and there's no structural damage to his elbow at all.
No.
If Yates is Yates, and then if you go get Brad Hand,
Dude.
that's an elite bullpen.
Yates, Hand, Romano, Dolis.
Dolis,
And then they brought back Cole too, right? If he's
Baraki.
still what he is.
Baraki, and then Chatwood. The last time he was in the
1.19
bullpen, he was
ERA.
good. Who Yates? Yeah.
Am I reading this right?
Yeah, he
1.19 ERA.
Yeah, he was
yes,
good.
he was sick. He was
an
actually
all-star. He was an
unreal.
all-star that year. And that's tough to do as a reliever.
Mhm.
I mean, 41 saves. Yeah, fuck.
Now, my buddy that's a Padres fan, he was wary because he was like, the Padres have bullpen needs. It's a little concerning. Like, I'd be a little concerned if I was you guys, just because the team that just had him didn't
want him.
re-sign him
Walk.
at only $5.5 million plus incentives to get it to 10. But if you have no problem paying him 10 million if he's if he reaches the incentives that he does, because then he's back to normal.
Could be issues from his camp too. Like maybe he thought they were treating him wrong or something. Didn't want to go back. Maybe they
It could be.
could have mishandled something with him. You never know.
But
right?
when you see what the Padres have added this offseason, you don't think that you wouldn't want to be a part of that?
well, that's what I mean. Like maybe they did want him back, but he's just like, I'm not coming back to this shit type of thing. Who knows?
I
doubt it, but there's always a chance, right?
Yeah.
You never know what's going on inside.
I think they look like they want to add one more arm and maybe a significant one. So if it's a Hand, if it's Trevor Rosenthal, I've seen David Robertson be out there. That would be interesting to see if he could bounce back, because like he has the pedigree of
he's
like
been good in the past,
exactly.
And he's not your top 4 guy right now. He's like
no, but if he's like one of
or
your
fifth.
middle guys that just gives you innings, like I think that's a
fine.
solid guy to get. Basically, what we have to say is the Blue Jays are going to add. I think, yeah, they're not done.
No.
I think if this is me talking, I think 2 starters, a middle infielder, and a reliever.
Mm-hmm. If they're not done, or if they are done, I'm still confident in this team going forward.
I think that they're a wild card team.
Yeah.
Right now.
They're obviously not a World Series contender this year. I think their lineup is one of the best in the AL if it's clicking the way it should.
If Vlad turns into Vlad, then there's no reason why.
All signs point to him doing it.
If there's a scenario where the Blue Jays add 2 of Tanaka, Odorizzi, Walker, or Paxton, they add who's the worst middle infielder that they could add? Just like maybe they don't add a middle infielder. Maybe they're just like Santiago Espinal. Here you go.
Yep.
And say they sign David Robertson. I think they're a guaranteed playoff team at that point.
Sure.
And
whether
if
it's the
Vlad is
division or
Vlad,
not,
if Vlad is Vlad, the sky is the limit.
I think you need Vlad to be Vlad. I think you need Lourdes to stay healthy, and I think you need Bo to continue being
To
good
be
Bo.
healthy.
Yeah,
To be
that
healthy.
too. That too.
Yeah.
I think those 3 things need to happen for you to put yourself in the World Series conversation. But those are 3 big things.
It's not outlandish right now. Where would you have Springer bat?
Like, he's been a leadoff hitter, and I get that.
Have you seen the numbers?
He's not a leadoff hitter on this team.
No. Have you seen the numbers though
Yeah.
at leadoff? It's incredible.
He's the best leadoff hitter in baseball. But he's the best leadoff power hitter in baseball. Like, he
comparing it to like the people that are so Ricky Henderson's first in most home runs out of the leadoff spot. Springer's like 4th, and 2nd and 3rd. This is all time. 2nd and 3rd have like double the amount of games played.
Yeah.
And Springer's only like 5 or like 10 home runs max behind them.
Yeah.
Like that's insane to me.
That's nuts. But the,
So
he-
if Springer's
we have-
comfortable there,
yeah,
here's what I will roll out as a possibility. Springer 1, BGO 9.
Bijou 9,
Yeah,
Jano 8.
sure.
Okay.
Because if you, I think it's an interesting thing to talk about, just because BGO's this guy that gets on base.
It helps to have him in front of a guy that hits a lot of home runs. I see what
Exactly.
you're saying.
Didn't that help Kelvin Pillar a while back when he was hitting like 270
Yeah.
because of everybody else at the top?
Yeah.
He would
You just
just
forget
he'd see
about
all
a
the
guy.
pitches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So then you could either do that or just bat Springer second and bat BGO first, which I'm totally here for. Also, I'm down to bat Springer second. I'm here to
That's
bat
what I
him
was about to
first.
say.
I'm here to bat him third.
I
It's
like
1, 2, or 3. I don't care.
I like Biggio lead off with Springer hitting 2,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have like
Bo 3, Teoscar 4.
yeah.
Vlad Lourdes can fight it out for 5, 6. Rowdy 7.
Your 7
Grichuk
hitter
8.
now.
Grichuk 8.
Your 8 hitter is now your last year's 3 hitter on a team that made the playoffs.
Incredible. Like, I hate Randall Grichuk more than anyone.
He's a damn good 8 hitter.
But damn it, this dude could hit 250 and 30 bombs at your 8 spot?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
And then Jano's just you never know, man. That guy could be something good or he could be absolute dog shit. You know
Yeah.
idea. But he's your 9 hitter. Who
The
cares?
9th hitter where everybody else can still hit the ball. I'll take my chances. on that.
Exactly.
And then
This is
you
a
have
guy
Kirk. You still have Kirk.
This is a guy
Like,
that hit 2 home runs in the
Kirk, bro?
postseason in 1 game last year in Jano. Like,
Yeah.
and then Kirk could hit over 300 and I wouldn't be surprised. So,
Yeah.
nuts.
They're a good team right now. They don't need to add another hitter in terms of a middle infielder, but they can still add one at third that can play third. Like, that's still an option.
Here was the
Can I
question
just-
I wanted to ask. I don't know if I'm interrupting you, but
No, go.
in the event that they don't add anyone else right now,
They have
done.
to.
Like,
They're
done.
going- Okay.
I just want to
If they don't.
play out the scenario.
Yeah.
They're done. Let's say they are done right now. They don't
Okay.
add any other starting pitching.
Uh-huh.
Would you consider what they've done so far a success?
Yeah, I would. I think bringing in George Springer alone makes it a success. And then you added a reliever.
It has been a
It's
success.
all
Yeah.
based on the fact of this whole discussion we've had about look at the hitting now, and that was basically the struggle last year. We couldn't get a hit on the Rays if we tried.
Okay,
Yep.
so here's my thing.
Yep,
They still haven't addressed their biggest need.
pitching.
Starting pitching, yeah.
The guys that are slotted 2 through 5. You want to hear their ERAs?
Yes.
Good. You can't
Robbie-
count Nate. I
Robbie
don't count
Ray.
Nate in the mix.
No,
Nate had like 3 starts.
no. You just gotta listen because it's hilarious.
Okay.
Robbie Ray, 6.62.
Yes.
Nate Pearson, 6.
Yes.
Tanner Roark, 6.8
Career or just last year?
last year.
Okay.
Ross Stripling, 5.84.
Ross was better with us. He's also
Not
a
good.
bullpen guy.
That's-
If Ross Stripling's in your rotation, there's a problem.
No, I think Ross Stripling's your swing guy.
Yeah.
I think the Jays add 2 starting pitchers.
How much are they working with right now in terms of cap? Because I feel like they're
there's no
still not
there's no
close
cap,
to
so it's
no, in terms of hitting
Like their
budget,
own
hitting
cap?
their
Their
ceiling.
ceiling, I think they're at like. Here, let me look it up.
it's already been reported that they're still aggressive in Trevor Bauer negotiations. So he's looking
They're
at
still in it.
25
Yeah.
to 30 million dollars. So if they're still in that conversation, they have enough money to go get 2 more guys.
Now, just based on
Right.
what I've
So the
seen,
40-man payroll, they're at 108 million. The most that they've ever spent is 160 million back in 2016.
Wow.
So they have ample room if they're going up to that.
If they
ceiling.
want to,
Now,
it was also
I don't think that they're going to go that high just based off of in 2016, 2015, and 2016, you had fans and that revenue coming in. So I don't think that they're going to get to there. Could they get to 140? I think
but-
so.
relative.
But
reasonable.
on the off chance they win a World Series this year, odds are there's gonna be fans in the seats next year.
Correct. Oh, no,
You're
no,
gonna
no.
pack that house every night.
Correct.
Every night. Like weekdays, weekends, does not matter. It's gonna be packed. So
Correct.
if you try and put together a championship team this year and they win it, that is big ticket sales next year.
Correct.
So you could look at it that way.
I think that they have they could potentially have another 52 million to spend if they're spending that. I don't believe that they will. I think they have 32 to 40 million to spend.
now's the time to get guys.
No, I agree.
Because
you have to capitalize on Bo,
shit
Vlad,
market.
Kevin,
And the
Teoscar,
shit
and
market.
Lourdes all
And-
being cheap as dirt.
and the shit market. Like it's
Yeah.
at the point now where guys aren't getting what they want.
Mhm.
So like this year's Trevor Bauer is probably not going to get anywhere near the 30 mil that he wants.
Correct.
But if this is like a regular year, he might be looking at 30 million.
It's the case in point you made earlier with Rendon, right? He went for what 200 plus, and we
35
got,
a year.
Yeah. So
That's
I
what I
think
mean.
now's-
There's $10 million
now's the
difference
year.
between those two. You can kind of see the comparisons around the league. Like even DJ only went for 15. Granted, Liam Hendricks did go for the most of relievers ever gone for,
Mhm.
but that seems
I think
like
the top guys are getting the term still.
term.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not as high of the dollars.
No, and that's what I mean. I don't care
Except for
about term.
Springer.
I don't really care about the term. It's just
I
like,
think
I don't
Bauer
want to spend the
could
money.
sign the 1 year, $37 million deal. I think that's completely rational. If he
Yeah.
wanted to do that, I think
like-
he could also sign a 4 year deal for what, 110, 120.
I like
30 million?
throwing player
Like-
options on it too, just in case he doesn't want to come back and he thinks he can make more after 2 years with the Blue Jays and decides, you know what, I'm way too good for my $20 million, which is
Apparently,
possible.
the Atlanta Braves were also in on Springer until the very end
Because they still haven't really done much of
to
anything.
replace
Just-
Ozuna.
yeah,
They signed Morton, and that's it.
which apparently reports are that he's looking into going back to Atlanta.
Who? Ozuna?
Ozuna.
Mm,
That's what's been said is that
interesting.
it's likely he goes back there.
Interesting. Sorry, what were we talking about?
I don't know.
Morrow? What'd you bring up?
Money.
How much money it
just
is?
the-
I think that they have.
Yeah.
I don't think money is a worry right now. I think it would be if you're signing Bauer, because then if you sign Bauer, there's still holes to fill. So then money will get tight. But right now, if you tell me I have $32 million, I can still sign all my guys that I need. I can sign 2 starters, and then I can bargain bin for a reliever,
So
and then whatever infielder that's left, I'll sign.
Bauer at 25 and Taiwan at 12 to 13. It still puts you at a reasonable number.
Correct, but then you
You're
still
at
have to fill your other holes.
38 mil to fill 2 starters, and where's your holes at this point?
Infield?
You're a significantly better team than you were last year.
Oh, significantly. If you sign that,
I-
then you could say,
I-
I would like one more arm.
You can say yes, there's holes in the infield, but there's not really guys you want to take out of your lineup in order to fill those holes.
Right.
Like the hole right now is at third base where you plan on putting Vlad. You're gonna move Vlad over to first, but then you gotta bench Rowdy. Like I'm cool with what the lineup looks like right now. Obviously, it's not the best defensive team you've ever seen.
I don't think Rowdy is good.
Rowdy, when he's playing, he was unbelievable last year.
He was good. I don't know.
And
Unbelievable.
He was great. He was great to end the season 2 years ago, and he was really good last year. He was
He
one of
got
the
hot.
one of the
He got
team's
hot.
best hitters for a while
Yeah.
there.
Correct.
I'm cool with having him in it. He's also a good first baseman.
Still only a 0.4 WAR.
Yeah, he didn't play, and it's also
Played
a shortened
32
season.
games. Played 35 games.
That's not that much. That's a month.
I think there was positive signs from Rowdy. He could.
Yeah.
Hey, if he's the big lefty bat instead of Brantley, that's significant.
That's cool.
yeah.
Yeah. Which is where you come to the point where I don't think you have that many holes. Like Rowdy's not that big of a hole that you need to go spend your money.
I
and
don't
get
think
somebody.
that you love the lineup right now just because of how righty dominant it is.
Sure.
If you could,
But all of these
if
guys
you
can
could
hit both
somehow
hands,
move
man.
Grichuk, but I don't know if you're a better team if you do move Grichuk.
Yeah.
Because Grichuk still has
Depending
the
on what
upside
you
of
get.
30 home runs. He does. He
Especially-
get it 240. If Grichuk hits 240, has a 315 on base percentage, I could care less if he's still hitting 30 bombs. And I'm not even a guy that likes those type of hitters.
No.
But,
But he's going to be your 7-8 guy.
exactly.
It's
That's
not
what,
that big a
if
deal.
you were telling me you have that kind of pop at the bottom of the lineup,
Yeah.
you're laughing.
Yeah. There's no one you want to throw to in this lineup.
No.
Even
could say
Rowdy
that-
can take you deep in a heartbeat.
100%. But
I'm not I'm scared to throw to Rowdy most of the time.
so optically, the team doesn't look unbelievable in terms of a balanced lineup, but it'll still bang.
Yeah.
The team was third in the AL The only two teams that scored more runs per game, I think, was the Yankees and the White Sox in the AL. And then you add George Springer while those other teams haven't
Didn't add
added
shit.
any hitter. The White Sox haven't added a hitter. They added Lane and Hendricks.
The
And the
Yankees have
Yankees-
enough question marks all around the diamond
The-
that you're scared of
exactly.
everything.
The Yankees, they can't stay healthy.
Mhm.
No, they always get a breakout like
entire
Luke Voigt
roster.
or something. But
Sure. Luke Voigt's still legit, but outside of that, like I don't trust Giancarlo Stanton to play 162. I don't trust Aaron Judge to play 162. I don't trust Gleyber Torres to be what he was 2 years ago. You have no idea.
if you take out Gleyber Torres' numbers outside of Baltimore, he's a 230 hitter or something.
Mm-hmm.
I was
insane.
shocked when I heard.
That's nuts.
And if you're the Yankees, you heard what the cost was for Luis Castillo that they wanted?
No.
Gleyber Torres. Why wouldn't you do that deal?
Yeah.
You trade Gleyber for Castillo and then you sign Didi or something to just fill shorts.
Bring him back.
Who gives it? Yeah, like
Yeah.
that baffled me that they wouldn't do it.
It's nuts. It's nuts.
Better days are ahead. That's
Yeah.
what the moral of the story
Yeah.
is.
Absolutely.
All right, is that it?
I think so.
Nice.
I thought it was
survived.
great though. Like one of a tweet that I saw that was great was, "Do you really want to sign a 31-year-old free agent to a 6-year deal?" And it was the Stephen A. Smith video of, "Frankly, we don't care," because at this point, like that's how Blue Jays fans were. Like
Yeah.
we didn't care at this
No,
point.
100%.
So good, so happy.
What do we got next? Football?
Mhm.
Okay. I can give us a pick update based
Now
on
it's
what we
over.
had last
Moral
week,
one.
but,
Congrats. Blah blah blah.
No, I mean still.
I can't catch him here either, I don't think. But yeah.
I went clean. I went a perfect 4-0. We all got Green Bay. I went Buffalo. You guys both took Baltimore. Obviously, it was all
Yeah.
on
Yeah,
trying to catch up, which is why. So
yeah.
Well, and I took
Kansas
Baltimore.
City was unanimous. Amir stuck with Tampa Bay in the event that he went 3-0.
Correct.
To that point, he would have changed.
Correct.
So
Correct.
I lead by 8 with
Mm-hmm.
whatever the last 3 games of the season left. We can still do our picks. I'm locking mine in because I have them still intact for my bracket. I'm going Tampa and I'm going Kansas City. We can get into those now.
I'm going Green Bay, and I'm going with the
Going
Buffalo
to-
Bills.
I'm going to wait on Kansas City.
Oh, Mahomes
I
is
know.
playing. Mahomes is playing. Mahomes is playing.
That was one thing I wanted to
Do you
bring
know
up
how
too.
Do you know how obvious it is that Mahomes is playing?
It's pretty apparent he's playing.
The
Well,
NFL
I
would
just-
move the fucking game and say Mahomes got COVID. We're moving the game.
So
Yeah.
my issue with Pat Mahomes wasn't the concussion. Did you see his whatever issue he had going on with his leg? From the time he started limping to the time he left the game, he was bad. He could not hit passes. He was underthrowing everybody. He was overthrowing guys. Like he looked off. And if that's still an issue, I don't know, man. Like I can see the Bills winning this game, and because the pick means nothing, I'll take the Bills. Because why not?
I mean, my pick's intact still. I had Bills Packers for the Super Bowl.
That's
So,
good. That's good. And then I'm gonna take the Bucks on the other side because
So
Why not?
Tampa
Brandon,
Bay-
what was your original pick for the Super Bowl?
the Ravens,
And
So
the Bucks, I
Orleans.
think.
no, it was
Was
New
it-
Orleans.
no, I didn't pick
So
New
I'll
Orleans.
go through that. I'll go through that now too. So
I took New Orleans.
yeah, you had New Orleans. Going
Oh, because
all
they
over.
played.
Yeah.
Right.
So going into the last 3 games that we have on our brackets, so I had the 4-0. Brent went 3-1. Oh, sorry. Amir went 3-1. Brent went 2-2. So Amir went Kansas City, Buffalo, Green Bay, and he had Seattle going through. So he already got dock points previously for them being eliminated. But he has Buffalo, Green Bay final, and I have Kansas City, Tampa final. So this could be a very
It's
fun
close.
finish for the
Yeah.
for at least the bracket's sake. It could be a very fun finish.
Just not my year.
And then Brent's
it's not-
basically
it's
all
just-
but eliminated.
It's not my
Um,
year.
Baltimore and New Orleans are both out. He will not be able to accumulate any other points, so
It's not.
he will settle for third.
Fucking Lamar Jackson goes down. Just ruined my entire.
Yeah, except they look better without him.
They couldn't score. Oh, that fucking throw to Marquise downfield. That I don't even remember the guy's name. What's his name? The guy that came in,
Hundley.
some rookie kid, Hundley.
I'm free.
Yeah, the kid that
Hundley,
either way, whatever his name was, just launched it about 100 yards too deep. If Lamar Jackson's in, he doesn't throw it that far, so it goes into his hands. I think it's a different game, but I digress. Lamar was.
I mean, we're coming towards the end of the season. I mean, unless you guys want to talk about any of the coaching changes, I know that there's been a lot of that. The whole
Well, let's talk
Deshaun
about the
Scott
matchups.
going on.
Let's talk about the matchups. Mauro, why do you think Tom does it? Is it just purely based off of your pick?
I don't know. That defense looked really good.
Is it? Yeah, Devin White
3
changed the game.
Yeah. Even I know he had a couple penalties in the game, but Murphy Bunting had a really good game. He had the pick. And we know it's an elite run defense. We knew that even last year when Tom Brady wasn't on the team, and always was the talk of the town was how would their pass game hold up. And I mean, obviously they're not as heavy of a pass kind of offense that they're going to see in Green Bay, but I mean, New Orleans was a tough test, and they took care of business. But
Were they?
They should have been.
They
were missing Taysom Hill.
New Orleans defense was a tough test.
Yeah, but you also did not let Michael Thomas get a catch in the game, and that does not happen ever.
Has happened this season.
Has Michael Thomas had the biggest
Flop?
Yeah, from last year to this year?
Yeah.
He was never Michael Thomas this year, though. Like, he was hurt or...
Well, there's rumors now of them trading him.
There's been rumors of them trading him all year.
Well, even thing. Let's talk. We can get into the retirements too. Like, is this it for Drew Brees?
I mean,
right?
Reportedly, yes.
Reportedly, yes.
I told you guys, yeah. Like, it was a thing that he was going to retire, apparently. And I didn't realize...
He said he's going to take some time to think about it, but I'd like to think that it's done. Like, the whole sentimental thing.
If Jameis Winston plays that game, do the Saints win?
Went 1 for 1. I like the pass he made.
First career touchdown pass is a Saint. It's the touchdown in the playoffs. How are you?
Yeah. Do I think they win the game?
No.
Do I think the turnovers would have been limited? And that being said, it's Jameis Winston, and that in itself is kind of funny because.
But here's my thing:
he would have been playing if they were going to pick the ball off 3 times on a New Orleans quarterback. So
right. Would Jameis have thrown that many interceptions?
No.
We're talking about Jameis Winston, right?
Hold on. I understand. So say Jameis throws the 3 interceptions, like Drew Brees does. Jameis is throwing for more than 134 yards.
Yeah.
On 34 throws. He's moving the offense better. You lost by 10 points.
Jameis Winston is the prime example of 5,000 yards in the air, but you're going to get 3 interceptions that come with it. It's just it's inevitable.
He's basically he'll throw the 3 touchdowns, but he'll also throw the 3 interceptions.
Yeah.
I think that it'll be interesting to see where Jameis goes and plays next year. I think New Orleans is an option. I think your Carolina Panthers are an option. I think Washington is an option. I think Jameis, like, I've always liked Jameis since Florida State. I think he's good. I think he's better than Teddy Bridgewater. That's my stance.
I think he turns the ball over a lot more than Teddy
Bridgewater. Is he Teddy?
I think he took almost this exact same team last year and did nothing with them.
Who's better? No, I think
there's
significantly better.
Throw the ball better, Jameis Winston, but Jameis, what's coming with it. He'll get touchdowns, but he'll get you.
I don't have faith in either one of them to win me ball games. I think they're the same quarterback.
I think that's
they're
part
the same quarterback.
Just as a pure thrower of the ball, I'll take Jameis. But
what did the Bucks add on offense that makes Tom Brady that much further? Like, well, that's what I mean. Like, Tom Brady came in and turned that team into probably a Super Bowl finalist.
I think it's more of the defense clicking this year opposed to I think the defense is significantly.
It's the mentality.
I think it's just maturation.
It's a little easier to play defense when you're not starting at your own 20.
Absolutely, but I think the defense, there's maturation there. Devin White was what? Was he a rookie last year? Or was his second year last year? Either way, Antoine Winfield Jr. He's a rookie and he's fucking incredible.
Yeah, he's been really good.
That makes me feel old that Antoine Winfield Jr.'s in the league. And I don't know if you guys remember Senior on the Vikings for all those years. A cornerback there. That makes me feel.
Oh, yeah.
They added a Dominican Sue, did they not? Yeah.
Mhm.
Jason Pierre-Paul's is good. Like, they have guys all over the defense. They added Shaq Barrett was there from last year. But Antonio Brown's looked good. Like, Gronk's looked good, even though they didn't do
Gronk's
much
been
last
a
week.
great pass blocker.
Chris Godwin's had a
blockers.
pretty big decline from last year to this year also. With
Well, that's because there's other options.
I mean, he's dropping the football a lot more. I don't.
Yeah.
I can see the Bucks absolutely beating the Packers. I think fucking Aaron Rodgers is rolling, dude.
He's been lights out. And
Like the way he's just flicking the ball around.
I'm concerned about a Green Bay team that's missing David Bakhtiari to
And
try and give.
And you know where I counter? They just handled the Rams.
Okay, you're right.
You know,
Rams.
It's kind of a soft excuse, but obviously Aaron Donald wasn't healthy. He wasn't fully healthy. He was battling with the rib cartilage injury, and
right.
Who knows? I mean, even was Cooper Kupp not out? Like they were missing players too. And by all means, it was kind of close.
Goff wasn't awful. Like Goff was 21 for 27. He held the ball too much.
He looked not ready. Like his hand just does not look like he was ready to throw a football.
But the Rams still have a good defense. Like and Rodgers looked like he was toying with them. It's a 3-point game. They're both 3-point games.
I think they'll be really close regardless of who wins. I just like the Bucks because I picked them and I'm just gonna roll with it.
Great logic, Mauro.
And Tom,
but I had the logic going into the
Tom Brady.
Here's my thing.
Tom Brady.
Remember the game earlier on in the season? And the Bucks blow out the Packers.
Yes.
That game didn't start as a blow. The Packers they had a 10-0 lead and they were rolling. And then Rodgers just started targeting Adams on every fucking play, and he threw all these interceptions.
So what's different than every other game?
That it didn't work out in that situation.
Right.
That it like
that's what he does, though.
Not really. Like if you look at last game, like he wasn't. He obviously had Ramsey on him, and they still scored 32 points.
He used Lazard a lot.
Yeah,
even Ramsey got a really good battle in with Devontae Adams. Like he locked him up. Obviously, he got the touchdown. It was a 1-yarder on
9 for 66.
that very
still.
nice.
So like 9 for
nice
60.
Little goal line play they drew up.
Right.
But I mean, he went tap for tap with him.
Exactly.
Robert Tonyan had more touchdown receptions this year than he had catches all of last year.
Yeah,
that's insane.
Rodgers is really good. I just think I've said it since the start of the year. I just think he's winning the Super Bowl. I just feel it. He looks like he's the best quarterback in the league again.
Bills Mafia. Oh, we're not about to go through without saying this. Shout out to Bills Mafia for what they did for Lamar Jackson.
Oh, that was really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Like, as much as they're nuts and they do some dumb shit, they're still a lot of fun, that fan base. And the fact that they have the respect to go out. They're great
fans.
Yeah, I'd love
donating
that fan
to Lamar
base,
Jackson's charity after he gets concussed. I mean, there's the story a couple of years ago when the Bills made the playoffs because Andy Dalton beat some team, and then they donated to Andy Dalton's charity.
That
was great.
It's a very passionate fan base.
Yeah.
If any fan base deserves something right now, it's the fucking Bills, man. Like,
I agree.
In a heartbeat. I hope they keep running because
I hope they beat the Chiefs, man.
Yeah,
I really do.
I'd love to see the Bills win a Super Bowl this year. I think that'd be great.
It would be great.
They're my pick that I'd want to see happen. Obviously, I didn't pick them for the purposes of a bracket, but if there's a team I want to see win, it's the Bills.
Yeah.
Obviously, I have money tied into the pot, but whatever.
Rank what would you want to see in terms of Super Bowl winners? Is Brady winning the Super Bowl the best story?
The Bills, man.
Bills.
The Bills are my story. I think that's awesome.
Beating Brady, I think, is the best story.
Yeah, that's true. I think the Bills beating
the Bills?
Bills beating Brady.
No.
The Bills beating Brady is the best story that can happen because they could never do it in New England.
And even if it's not the Bills, then it's the passing of the torch, right? The whole Brady loses to Mahomes.
No. Rank the teams in order of what you would want to see, not the matchups. Purely if it's Bills, Packers, Chiefs. Like for me, Chiefs are at the bottom. I don't want them to win again.
No,
I
right from the beginning, they were the least,
Yeah.
second least to win the.
For me,
title.
it goes. I think to be right, it would be Packers, Bills, Bucks, Chiefs.
Bills, Bucks,
Bill-
Pats, Chiefs.
I'm with Bryant.
I could agree with you guys. I have no problem. with
I've
that.
never liked the Packers, so it's just one of those things for me. But I like Aaron Rodgers, a good guy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's back to having fun.
Yeah.
It's like all you need to do. Imagine if they had drafted a wide receiver instead of a quarterback in the first round. Imagine if like Justin Jefferson was on this team.
I was about to say,
Oh, gross.
nuts, insane.
Fuck. Was that everything? Do we want to go? We didn't really talk about the matchup of
We don't have to.
Kansas City versus Buffalo.
No, we
Obviously,
don't.
it's dependent on one thing. If Mahomes plays, it's a game. If
Mhm.
Chad Henne's forced to start,
It's still a
Well,
game
hammer
because
the
of the
Bills.
receivers there.
Nah, I hammer the Bills.
I just trust those that entire that.
Is that would it be the most Buffalo thing though?
Oh yeah, Chad
If-
Henne comes in.
What,
If
to
immediately.
blow
Henny
it
comes,
against
no,
Henny?
not
if,
not that
if
Henny,
Henne
like-
comes in and
No,
does
no,
what
no.
he just did to the Browns,
No, not light them up, but Josh Allen. That's the game that Josh Allen shits the bed
that's possible.
because he hasn't done it so far. And it's always been the narrative.
It
in the
would
past,
be the
right?
most Bills thing if Chad Henne comes in on
And
fourth
beats
and
them.
20 and picks up 14 yards and a run on his own
Yeah.
yeah,
and locks the game down on a 1 yard pass play that nobody would have ever called to send them to the next round. Yeah, that would be the most Bills thing, right?
No, that's the most
Wouldn't
Browns.
happen to any other fan base. No.
At least they covered, didn't they?
Yeah. I bet on them to cover, but I got one game wrong, I think.
Is there anything else? What else do we have to talk about? Oh,
retirements. Philip Rivers today, or
yesterday.
Finally pulling out.
Go
It's
on.
about time.
Hall of Famer or no?
Yeah, just because every player,
One of the best
every
quarterbacks to never win a title? One of.
over the last decade, he's the best quarterback to not play in the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. Not even make the Super Bowl.
Okay, Morrow, rank these three quarterbacks. You have the Giants defense of 20. Oh fuck, you're gonna say Manning anyways because they won. But you have an elite defense.
Mm-hmm.
Who would you want to quarterback your team?
I had this debate today about
Who would you want to quarterback your team?
if
You
I
know
had-
the three. You know the three.
What, the three guys from the
Yes,
draft?
The over-
Ben, Eli, and
Phil.
Rivers.
Yeah,
I'll take Ben.
I think Ben's the safe.
Ben's the easy answer.
I think
It goes Ben,
Ben-
Eli, and then Rivers for me. He had two opportunities to beat Brady, and he never
Correct.
did it in the playoffs. He's 0-7 on his
Correct.
career for playing against Brady. He only won
I
one
understand.
game against
No, I
the Pats.
understand that.
And that was when Matt Castle played.
I think the Giants had a significantly better defense.
Then who?
The Chargers.
The 06 Chargers?
Yes. Who's on the defense? Was it
They had
Cromartie?
they had two all pros.
Who?
Lance
Cromartie?
Briggs, and Sean Merriman. Three offensive players that made the all-pro team in 2006. The 08 Giants only had four, and two of them were on their O-line.
Sounds like Morrow did his research.
I
I know.
did a lot of reading. Do not tell me the 06
You're not pulling that
Chargers-
shit out of
Do
nowhere.
not tell me the 06 Chargers were any worse than what the 08 Giants were. I'm not here for this debate.
Hold on, but that was only his second year in the league.
The Giants
That was
won on a lucky
14
catch
that
on
was
the
a
helmet.
14-2 team.
No, I understand that, but you're saying he's got to have all the pressure. Like that would be like telling Philip Rivers to go be Pat Mahomes and do what he just did. Except Pat Mahomes, it was like what his fourth.
No, but
third
he
or
also
fourth year?
had the opportunity in 2009 where they were a 13-3 team, and again, he came up short. It was a close game, 21-24. I think they lost.
And then wasn't
They beat the Colts that year.
And then in
he just
12 or
lost to
13?
Brady.
And then 12 or 13 when a thing happened. He tore his ACL against them.
If David Tyree doesn't make the luckiest catch of his life, this might be a different conversation.
Correct.
Yeah, it was as good as the catch was and how stupid it was. The play before it needs credit, but yeah, it was a stupid catch.
Eli has.
He's
I
the
don't know if Eli has the it factor, But Eli has the I'll pull it out of my ass and we'll somehow get out of it.
Yeah.
He has the
He's got the Manning blood.
no, because
He's not as good as Peyton, but he's got that blood.
he's got the horseshoe up his ass. That's what Eli does.
He'll surprise you.
Oh, and then in 2 years from now, they're gonna have Arch Manning, who's the number one quarterback
I heard about that.
coming out of high school.
That's Cooper's son. Which
Cooper's
is the
son,
guy who
yeah.
never made it. He never made it
That's
pro.
wild. That's
Yeah.
wild.
And I think Eli. I'm just gonna say it because I think it, but I think Eli is probably the third most talented out of the three brothers, and one of them didn't even make the NFL.
Jesus.
He's good. He's making the Hall of Fame though.
Tough.
I love
Eli
Eli
is-
to death, but
Eli is, but like if you're saying I'm fantasy drafting a team and then I have to pick my
No.
quarterback, and I'm picking my quarterback if it's either Philip Rivers or Eli, I'm taking Phil.
I will not deny that if I had to compare Philip Rivers and Eli Manning, Philip Rivers wins.
That's what that's what I mean.
Categorically speaking, he beats Eli in everything,
what I mean.
except for the fact that when it came down to playoff times, he never was able to get
Correct,
it.
but that wasn't the question I was asking.
No, and I agree.
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
You're right in that, and I
Eli
agree
wasn't a choking hazard for them
In the regular season, Eli was a choke. Here's the thing.
Chokes in the regular season.
Philip Rivers is just a constant choking hazard. It didn't matter.
I use the word serial choker,
yeah.
and that's just over to span out his whole career. Like there's the
At
saying.
least Eli came through a couple times.
Philip Rivers had a good year is the epitome of his career.
Yeah.
Philip Rivers had a good year. He always had a good year, but he never got it done, not once.
It seemed like he was constantly like what Matt
put up
Stafford is
and-
now.
and
It's
this
like
was
I wish he
another
had a better team.
Yeah.
Is what it kind of seemed like for most of his career.
You know what their records are? Eli's 500.
Yeah.
That's the
I'm aware of that. But
Breeze Rivers is 134 and 106. Touchdown wise,
Rivers was always a throw heavy offense, so
366
after LT left.
366 touchdowns for Alicia.
Elijah.
And 421 for Rivers, and Eli has more interceptions by 40.
No.
Or
Come
30.
on.
No.
Not
Nah,
that
it was 1 year.
Yeah.
1 year tripled his total, did it not?
Yeah, 27, baby.
Yeah. Oof.
Gee, Eli led the league in interceptions in 3 years.
2 for sure, maybe 3. I don't know. I know he had the 27 1 year.
In 13, he had 27. In 10, he had 25. And then in 07, he had 20. I just assumed that the bold means leads the league
Yeah.
in Football Reference. I would assume so.
Probably.
I think so. That's
He's
funny.
the most average QB to ever make the Hall of Fame. If and when he does.
Oh, he's going to. He's extremely polarizing. Would I want him on my team? I'd feel better about Eli than a lot of quarterbacks in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Like Eli's good. Eli is good,
He wasn't
above
terrible.
average to above average.
but
That's
he
all
was never.
Yeah. Yeah. He just got the job done.
Was he ever the
Well,
top 5 quarterback in the league at any given moment? I don't think so.
No.
No.
Was he even in the top 8? Maybe at some time.
Maybe once. Maybe
Every
once.
now and
Maybe
then.
after the Super Bowl runs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they could.
Yeah, he had a good year like
Mhm.
shortly after they won, but their team sucked.
But Rivers, you could say there was times where he was in the top 3 in the AFC because it would have been Brady, Manning, Roethlisberger, but then there were some times where Rivers is better than Roethlisberger.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
If you had to rank, so this was the question I posed to some of my
Shoot.
cousins. If you had to rank their resumes of the 3 from the 2004 draft, Ben,
Roethlisberger,
Eli,
Manning, Rivers.
Philip Rivers is also a great human being.
yeah, no.
Best
Yeah,
human being of the group. So he gets bonus points for that.
It's still.
we can do a separate one of that one.
Hey,
Yeah.
I hate Eli Manning.
In terms of great people, Top of the list.
Listen.
Philip Rivers, Eli Manning, and then alleged
And then 50 feet of crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ben
Listen.
Roethlisberger.
Then Ben
Listen.
Roethlisberger.
I don't like Eli. I don't like him.
Why?
But he has two of the most impressive Super Bowl wins. Like he just does. The 07 and then 13, what was it?
It was 2008 and 2012. But technically they go by 07,
Yeah, right,
07
right.
and 11. It's weird.
Right.
Did you see J.J. Watt's quote on Phillip Rivers?
Yeah.
That was actually so cool. When he was talking about Phillip Rivers and his career and something. Apparently they were lined up for a blitz one time, and Rivers literally calls out. He's like, "You're in the wrong spot." To their D-man, and he was legitimately in the wrong spot. He's like, that's fucking insane how he knows. Like, the amount of stuff he knows about football is ridiculous.
Maura, what did you have of the ranking?
For the three, same as you. Ben first, Eli second, and then Philip Rivers third. Do I think Philip Rivers gets into the Hall of Fame? Yes, because he had very good statistical seasons.
It's counting
a lot of
stats.
passing
He's making it off of counting stats.
Yeah.
As, like, they should.
Was he a guy that you'd think could have won once? I would have liked to see it because the Chargers were a team that were so good for
Who's a better
4
player?
years.
Like, I was thinking of it. Like, Philip Rivers or Chad Ochocinco? Like, at least Ochocinco was one of the best receivers in the league.
Was wild.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand why we can't have, like, those type of players in the Hall of Fame. But we're going to have every quarterback that just played a long time be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Like, Kurt Warner's in the Hall of Fame, isn't he?
Mm-hmm. But he also won a Super Bowl.
Correct.
No, did he? Yeah, he won.
No, he won with the Rams. With the Rams. But, like, is he that great? Like, I don't love the Hall of Fame how it is right now.
Yeah.
Football is the most prestigious Hall of Fame I think to get in, just based off of like how small it is.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, quarterbacks get in regardless.
This new era of football being so pass heavy, it is very easy to get caught up with how many guys are now surpassing.
Like, how the fuck isn't Patrick Willis in the Hall of Fame, but Philip Rivers is going to get in the Hall of Fame?
Well, we don't know that yet.
No, Willis is going to get in the Hall of Fame, but like he's had to wait 2 years already, I think.
Sure.
That's ridiculous.
Phillip
Patrick
Rivers
Willis was one of the best fucking middle linebackers I've ever seen.
Yeah. Well, I mean, him and Breeze are probably going to go into the Hall of Fame.
I don't think they should go in together. They shouldn't go in the same time.
No, but like they're eligible at the same time, and I think if you're starting to make votes, you put Breeze over Rivers.
100%. And the crazy, the Pro Football Hall of Fame, they released a tweet basically saying that Philip Rivers is eligible in 2026 for the Hall of Fame, and a graphic and everything. It's like, oh, they know he's getting in. They know it's happening.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think that it's too much for we value quarterbacks too much just because they have the statistical, when in reality they're just meh. Like, I'd like to live in a world where Eli Manning and Philip Rivers aren't in the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
Big Ben deserves the Hall of Fame based off of. I'm not saying that they don't deserve it based off of like the current criteria.
Big Ben
I don't
deserves
consider them
the
really
Hall of Fame the same way Curt Schilling deserves the Hall of Fame.
Oh my god,
it's the same argument.
Did you see that that people are trying to writers are trying to recant their votes for Schilling because he supported storming the Capitol?
You knew he was a shit guy when you voted.
Exactly.
He didn't change.
Yeah.
Have you seen Barstool's shirts about Barry Bonds?
No.
Oh, they have the coolest Barry Bonds shirts out right now. It's basically just like his name with like the check mark beside it and like Free Barry or something like that. I love it. It looks so sick.
Fuck Barstool.
They make good merch though.
Let's talk about the NHL and Biz the Leafs. Basically.
Not a good day. Not a good day today for the Leafs.
No, not a good day at all. You're right.
What a stinker last night was. Oh my god.
Like, I'm not disappointed
time
in what the team's been so far. So like, I wasn't expecting to be negative, but you are right. Today has been not a good day for the Leafs.
No.
You lose Joe, obviously, but like you kind of knew that coming in, and then Matthews leaves practice, and like there's no update on what the hell's going on there. They just said he
wasn't feeling
feeling
good. Yeah.
I don't.
Apparently,
they
brought up Adam Brooks. They brought up
He's currently the second
Playing
line center.
first
Yeah.
between VC and Marner.
Yeah, they optioned down thing Miko Ledinen back to the taxi
Yeah,
squad.
fuck off, man.
You'd think that it has to do with Austin missing a game, at
Sure.
least one, if that's
Sure.
the situation. And yeah, it kind of sucks because he was the only bright spark in what was a very, very ugly, lousy, sloppy game against the Oilers.
Okay, here's my take. Is everyone in Leafs Nation clamored for defensive teams and a team that could play defense for 5 years. And they finally get that last night, and everyone's bitching about how boring the game is. Like, that was a perfectly played defensive game. They got beat on a puck off their own defenseman's foot and a phantom penalty call. That was a great play from the Oilers.
He literally shot the puck into the
That is a byproduct of Justin Hall never being able to win a puck battle. It kicked out front, and Jimmy Vesey put it in his own net.
It went off a muzzle.
You watched the game last night. Tell me how many times Justin Hall, at 6'4", 205, how many times did he win a puck battle ever last night? Not once.
Every time he matched up with McDavid. Outside of that, never.
Oh, it was a one-on-one play. Him and McDavid.
Yeah, he made a nice play to stop.
Okay, you just said.
But that's not a in terms of getting down into the boards and winning a puck battle. I'd hope my 6'4" guy wins.
Who would you? Okay, but your 6'4" guy is in a foot race with fucking Connor McJesus, and
he made one nice play.
Start. Justin Hall. As much as I don't like Justin Hall, he's not the issue on this team.
He's not.
He is the third worst D-man right now.
Justin Hall is a capable defenseman.
Yeah.
He's not the issue.
Zach Bogosian, also not an issue on this team. The guy did good things on the blue line. If you watch what he does a great job. He's not stupid with the puck. He knows that he's not Mikko Lehtinen. He's not going to fire this puck down the ice. He's going to get it where it needs to be. He does a great job of it. Did some great moves in the defensive end, though. Like
he tried to stick handle, I think, at some point last night, and the puck went like 3 feet.
He knows his limitations, though. He's not going to do something stupid. I think he's fine. He's not an issue. Was he out there for a goal against? I guess no, he wasn't even on the penalty kill. He wasn't even out there for a goal against. Like, he's been fine ever since that first game. He's not an issue. Travis Dermott has the IQ of my sock and all the talent in the world, but like it's not working.
Does he have all the talent in the world?
He does, because when he does something cool, it's like, wow. And that's the only reason he's still here is because he can do that stuff.
But he
takes 40 minutes to think of it. He stands back there for 30 seconds at a time thinking, okay, what can I do here? And by the time he gets moving, he fucks something up and it's right back the other way. It's just, Travis Dermott, great kid. Just not the fit anymore. It's not working.
Yeah.
And Mikko Lehtinen's look great with the puck. Yeah. It frustrates the hell out of me.
If there's one guy that I want off the defense, it's not Justin Hall. I'll admit to that, but it is Dermott, and I think that experiment needs to come to an end.
It's done. I'm okay with taking Bogo off for Sandin if people really want to ride that train, because I think Sandin's better. I think Bogo brings more physicality, which you're not getting with Sandin or Lehtinen.
I told you, Justin Hall was going to play. Justin Hall is a fine defenseman. He's fine. Should he be your third best defenseman? No, but that's not his fault.
There's no reason. There's no reason Mikko
defenseman.
Lehtinen can't be on the second pairing by the time midseason comes around.
Sure, but
it's a better fit on that pair. Drop Hall to the third.
They need to play him though. Like that's
I understand this, and I don't understand. Like, I get the beginning of the year it was cap circumvention basically, and that's fine. I get it. I understand why you do it, but at some point you just need to accept that Travis Dermott's not good enough, and to just put Mikko Lehtinen in that role and try and help him figure out the NHL. He's a better D-man than half the guys we have. But they were fine. Regardless, back to my point, they were good defensively. Yeah, they gave up like 18 shots, was it not? 22 shots?
Yeah.
A phantom penalty call that led to the game.
Yeah.
And an own goal, and that's the only two goals that beat us. And they look great. Freddie looked good. He was squared up on everything except for the power play, which what are you going to do? It's two of the best players in the world.
Yeah, literally bounced right to his tape.
They were great defensively.
Riley playing on the penalty kill?
Who else?
I mean, fair.
Yeah.
But Morgan Riley's not one of your best defensemen.
No, he's not.
When you want him to play an offensive game.
It's not.
Right? He makes some great plays
not
where
a
he's
great
crawling in transition to block like a 2-on-1. He's great. Like he can be good at times defensively, but like I don't.
His
he's not one of these-
transition defense is good. His
Yeah,
like
really good.
positional defense in the zone is average at
He's-
best.
Exactly.
And
And then being tough on a power play, or penalty kill.
just
Oh, are you ready to admit Montreal is good?
No.
Okay.
So early. I've had people ask me this too, and I'm like, I'm not ready yet. They look better than I expected them to look. Josh Anderson's a bit of a liability. He's the only reason they lost that game last night. In all fairness, he had 2 dumbass penalties that led to 2 goals.
Yeah, that's just
But they do look better than. Well, that's what I mean. But they do look better than I expected.
Would you say
them
they were going to be
Nick
second
Suzuki? Nick Suzuki could be the second or third best player in this division right now.
He looks good, man.
Incredible what he can do with
Yeah.
the puck. It's nasty. It's just too bad they have nothing else.
Yeah.
Toffoli looked good though. Jesus.
What is with Vancouver?
Yo, they're getting torched by their ex-players. That's back-to-back-to-back games. Like, Markstrom lit them up for 2 straight games, didn't let in shit. They outshot them both games.
Yep.
And then Toffoli comes into town and pops off a hat trick. It's like, what the fuck?
Yep.
Yeah.
They're fine. They'll be okay. I'm not worried.
This Canadian
Patterson,
division
though?
is great. It's great.
Patterson worries the hell out of me.
Yeah.
Yes. That's the fact that he
hasn't-
doesn't even have a goal yet is worrisome. Because he's not even coming close. It's not like he's had a lot of chances and he's just missing by a little bit. Like, he's not even coming close. He's getting everything blocked. He's not getting good shots. It's not pretty.
Cool. Anything else with the NHL?
Yo, shout out
Capitals?
John Gibson. Capitals too. But first, John Gibson, still the best goalie in the NHL. I stand by it.
Yeah.
Oh, popped off a 37 save shutout the other day and just dominated. Like, he's the only reason they won that game. He is the Matt Stafford of hockey.
I think
Incredible.
He's better than Matt Stafford.
Yeah,
Puts
but
up
like
good
Matt
numbers
Stafford,
this week.
elite quarterback, nothing to
Yeah.
play with.
Fair.
Nothing.
Yeah.
John Gibson, elite goaltender, could be top 3, and nothing in front of him. Just fucking Swiss
Yeah.
cheese. It's tough. Yeah, talk about the Cavs.
Russian poker night. What do we think it was?
Yeah, that's so what it is. Like, you look at the list of guys that hit the COVID list too, and it's
They
like
are-
Ovechkin,
very, like-
Did you see
Orlov,
what
Kuznetsov.
Just by nature, a lot of the Russians in the league, like they're very close with each other. Like when they're
Yeah.
on the same team, like
Right.
Kucherov.
Who are they playing against?
I forget who they were, who they just played.
Who they
but
played? Pittsburgh. They were playing,
yeah, they
but I
were in
don't
the
know who.
So
middle of
Malkin?
But they didn't test positive. It was because of protocol. Like,
Because
they're
they-
not allowed to
they-
be in each other's
Did
rooms.
y'all see what Ovechkin's wife said?
No.
Basically, just calling out the NHL because they're Russian. They're doing this, and apparently she's like they have antibodies. So, what is like? She's
Do I agree? in
I
principle
don't.
with-
I think the rule is ridiculous.
yeah.
Right.
Like, you
do
can
I
tell me
agree
they can
in
go
principle?
sit 2 inches away from each other on the bench, but they can't go sit in each other's hotel room.
Mhm.
That's a joke.
That's what I dispute, but it's the rule. Like, just follow it.
Yeah.
If that's what the
Yeah.
rule is, like, there's no rhyme or reason to go ahead and break that if it's there.
Exactly.
It might be a flawed rule, but I mean,
It's,
can't
just-
go.
it's the rules, man. It's a stupid rule, but you have to follow
Yeah.
it.
right.
Bottom line.
Alrighty. Last thing.
Yep.
So we have a new president.
Well, we don't.
Yes. Well,
Yeah,
We don't really have
essentially.
anything.
Essentially, we kind of do.
We have a
It'll-
new guy to
it'll
watch in the
impact
media.
us.
Yeah.
Yes.
So apparently, Trump used to have this button
Mhm.
that whenever he pressed it, a butler would come in with a Diet Coke on a silver platter. So my question to you guys: if you had a button that you would press, and then you would get something handed to you on a silver platter,
Mm.
what would it be?
It has to be something stupid basic like that, right? Like, I'm
Right?
not asking for like a 4-course meal every time I press this
Exactly.
button. It's got to be something like you just pull out of a cooler
Ooh, okay.
and like bring.
I was
over-
gonna say like Chipotle, but
No, but like
I think
that's
that's
not
fair.
easily accessible at the press of a button, right? Like, it's
Fair,
not like you have a
fair.
Chipotle
Yeah.
on site. Bang, bring me a Chipotle.
you're the president. Why the fuck not?
I guess you could. I mean, you could probably set that up. I guess.
Unless your butler has them readily available.
Yeah,
where
like
they
it's a
check in
little.
with a Chipotle meal
It's a
each
little.
time.
No, they
doubtful.
opened one up in the White House location, bro. What do you mean?
It's only available for one guy and one guy only. They
Yeah.
have 2 staff members,
We're gonna skate
24/7 working.
What would my red button be? I don't even know what my red button would
So we're
be.
saying like a drink?
See,
I'd say like grape.
I could be. It could be like a bag of chips. Like, don't get me wrong. You could have a stockpile of bag of chips, but like for me, it's got to be something like readily available. Not like I want a keg steak. Bang.
I don't think it can be like a beer because you're the president.
Yeah, I was gonna say similar. I'm like,
Yeah,
I don't think it's gonna
right.
be alcohol.
Yeah.
Although that would be my button.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
in a heartbeat. To me, it's probably yellow Gatorade because like I drink that like it's water.
Yellow. Really?
Yeah, yellow's my shit.
I'm not a yellow guy.
I'm big lemon lime anything. I'm all over it. Lemon lime, just any of that.
I'd be
citrus.
down with lime. I'm not big with lemon lime.
No, I'm
'Cause
big
it's too
fan.
lemon.
Big fan. Lemon lime, everything. I'm all
Orange
over it.
Gatorade better.
I like orange. The only one I don't like is red and purple. The only two. Sorry.
Oh,
I don't
I'm
like.
very
I
big-
hate
I'm
grape.
very
You
big on
already
grape.
know
I
this. I
love
hate
grape.
grape
I
everything.
love grape.
I'm big on
Yeah.
grape everything. That's
Yeah,
the thing.
Bray
I'm
gives me all his
different.
grape stuff.
Man,
I'm
in
different.
grape
man.
university, I had
I-
bags of Jolly Ranchers, and I would literally just hand the grape ones to Amir because I just don't like grape.
Do I care that my mouth's gonna be purple? No.
Yeah,
Oh man,
yeah.
I could not. I don't like the flavor. It's gross.
I
Yeah.
love it.
It's not my thing.
Mara, what's your button? Give me.
Can I get a rain check on this one? I need a little bit more time. I'm stumped here.
I'm not a big chip guy.
Yeah,
So I don't
like,
think it'd be chips.
No.
I'd want
I
to
mean,
drink.
like-
I'm gonna say Grape Crush.
Okay.
It's
It's got to be something that like refreshes you, right? Like you're not going to
Exactly.
get food because you're just like, I feel like food right now, or I'm feeling like I need to eat. Like
Oh, you know what
you
else?
have the White House kitchen, you go down and you get yourself a meal.
Y'all know the ice drinks? Like it's like a sparkling water, but it's
I think
not
so.
seltzer.
Yeah.
Still at Costco. The cherry limeade.
Okay.
Fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to take your word for it. I don't think I've had them.
you want me to go with an Italian answer here? My red button, an espresso.
It's not bad.
Interesting.
Yes.
Coffee in general, I think would be a good one. Just like a little bing, coffee comes to you.
Interesting.
They already know
Yeah.
your order. You're like, man, I'm fucking dying here. Boom.
Yeah.
Red Bull. Red
This
Bull's a
would
good
this
one.
would this would be mine.
Okay, yeah. We never buy those, so I've never had them.
Big fan.
Mhm.
Big fan.
No, I think anything like Red Bull, Monsters,
Yeah.
just something like that. Like you're just dying at the desk and you need to wake yourself up. You're like, bing, give me that. I can see
But
it.
are you drinking enough of them in the day to need a button for them?
If
Okay.
I'm the president of the United States, absolutely.
Fair.
Because you're fucking constantly busy. Right now, no, because I have no reason to fire myself up. I don't need to wake up for anything. I'm just going to bed.
right.
But like if I'm the president and like I have shit to do, I'm like, yeah, I need something to wake me
I
up.
think espresso hits that perfect because it's a very small dose of just straight caffeine.
Yeah. You got
Doesn't
Pablo
take very
Escobar
long.
coming in, giving you lines of Coke. Here you go. That's waking me up. Here we go.
Yeah.
That was Trump's other button. It's under the desk.
Concealed.
So more, you're going espresso.
Yeah. Yeah.
Espresso.
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 There's no X in espresso.
Yo,
Thank you. Yeah,
Relax.
thank you.
Relax.
Come
Well,
on, man.
I could go for like an iced coffee too. Nice vanilla iced
That's
coffee.
what any type of like coffee,
Yeah.
caffeinated beverage like that
Yeah.
makes sense. Diet Coke's a weird one. Diet Coke just screams like
A lot of people
lunatic.
have like a passion for Diet Coke.
That screams psychopath vibes. If that's your drink of choice to hit that red button and show up
I
at your
swear,
door,
didn't he drink like 6 a day?
that's psychopath vibes.
That's
I don't know.
unhealthy.
That's brutal.
Yeah, because Donald Trump looks like
I mean, yes, fair
the
enough.
picture of hell.
I mean, we should have known just by his drink of choice. There was a problem here.
Red button. This is new. I didn't actually know about this.
Trump
one.
reportedly drinks 12 cans of Diet Coke each day. I was
12?
underselling.
12. Oh,
Ew. That is criminal. That is criminally unhealthy.
12?
Well,
That's
Oh
a whole-
my
that's-
God.
That's a
That's a
fucking
case.
pie.
That's a case a day.
That's a case a day, man.
Oh my God.
Not a 2-4 case, but like one of the actual
Yeah.
five cases.
Oh
That's
my
disgusting.
That's awful. But it's diet. Don't worry.
Oh,
It's diet.
no, what is it? No calories, no sugar.
Cal.
What is the deal with
Aspartame.
Diet Coke? Like what's
I've never consumed one in my life.
Diet Coke has aspartame, and that's the reason
Yeah.
it doesn't have something else
Exactly,
that
it
Coke has.
doesn't
But
have sugar.
what is the
Yeah.
difference between Coke and Diet Coke?
0 calorie. And then
Is it calories?
yeah, and isn't it sugar also?
Zero
Is it though?
calories, zero.
Or no,
sugar. I
that's
think
Coke
it's
Zero.
both.
That's Coke Zero.
Yeah, Coke
Yes.
Zero is no.
Right. Yeah, I don't know.
Let's see if I can.
I never like if you're telling me I can have like a diet whatever or I can have a water, I'll take a water.
Yeah, man.
Diet Mountain Dew. That's the only one that's actually good.
I like root beer. Love root beer. My mom accidentally bought diet root beer the one time because she didn't notice. Brought it down. I tried it. Man, it's awful. It's just like it's something just pretending to be
Just
root beer.
don't drink it.
It's
Don't
not good.
drink it. If
I
you
just
can,
there's
if you
still
don't
it's
wanna
still
drink-
3/4 of the case in our fridge from like 3 months ago because it's just awful.
Yeah. It doesn't
I
make sense.
don't really fuck with pop a lot. Like I don't drink pop at all. Like if I had to go with a sparkling and or pop beverage, like it doesn't even count. Like I'd go iced tea.
Oh,
See,
okay.
I'm that
Like,
strange
that
ass
doesn't even
dude.
count.
I'm the strange ass dude that doesn't like water. Like doesn't like I don't like the taste. I don't like to drink it. So like anything else for me is fine. So I drink a lot of pop and
Mora's actually going with the
shit like
San
that.
Pellegrino.
Yes.
He's a Perrier guy. He
Yes.
is a Perrier guy.
San Pel, man.
He's got to be true to its
To the
Italian.
roots. To the
Yeah.
tomato sauce
Man,
running through
oh.
these veins right here.
Yeah, yeah. Mora doesn't bleed blood;
Um,
he bleeds tomato sauce.
Sparkling
Diet
water,
Coke.
man.
Diet Coke, no calories, no fat, no sugar, 0.1 grams of protein, 25 milligrams of sodium, no carbs, 0% of your daily vitamin C.
But that's a lot of protein ingested if you have 12 of them.
Yeah, yeah.
That's how he gets his gains, man. He's just like Diet Coke. He's shotgunning Diet Cokes.
That is
He's on the golf course, 18th hole. He's like, fuck yeah, boys, shotgunning Diet Cokes.
Do I have my portable red button?
Absolutely. It's on his golf bag. He's like, ding, bring it to me.
You know how the people
Absolutely.
have their Michelob Ultras
Absolutely.
in like a in their.
He's got a cooler of Diet Cokes, and he just brings it in his golf bag, and he shotguns them every hole.
That's gross.
Good for him. I
Well,
respect it.
All right, what could you have 12 of in a day? That's next time.
Outside of like beer, is there anything really that you ingest more than like 6 of on a big day?
Even 12, like that's just so much carbonation inside of you. How could you have that much carbonation?
That's nuts. Is there anything like little candies and shit like that? Obviously,
Yeah,
you hit
yeah.
12.
Yeah.
But like,
Can you eat 12 normal sized things in a day?
no. Right? Even The Rock doesn't eat
Huh.
12 pieces of chicken a day.
Find
That
out
guy
next
eats
time.
a lot of food.
Find out next time.
There's no competition.
Yeah. What can we get? I think that's it for this week. Well, hopefully by next week the Blue Jays make another big move.
Yeah.
But we'll see you guys next time. Peace.